It's the final home game of the season for relegation-threatened Oxford United as they welcome Sunderland, already assured of a playoff place in the Championship, to the Kassam Stadium. Well, the Oxford players will be feeling a little more confident than a month ago because they've taken 7 points from the last 5 matches, including wins here against Sheffield United and a win at Sheffield Wednesday. Regis Lebris brings Sunderland here on the back of 3 successive defeats, but they've been heavily rotating their squad, having already secured that playoff place. They did that with a 0-0 draw at Norwich. Since then, there have been those 3 straight defeats. But Sunderland are choosing almost a full-strength 11 today. There's no Eliza Moyenda, the Spanish under-21 international striker who's impressed many this season. He suffered concussion in the last match against Blackburn and sits this one out, but will be back, I'm told, for the final home league game of the season. That will be against Queen's Park Rangers. We'll come to the team news shortly. But just a couple of seasons ago, Oxford United finished 19th in League One, just 2 points above the relegation zone. They've come a long way since then. The Oxford fans enjoying second-tier football for the first time since the 1998-99 season. Sunderland have brought their usual strong following here to the Kassam, despite the fact, as I've already mentioned, they are into the playoffs. They can't finish any lower than 4th. Sunderland fans a few weeks ago were hopeful of automatic promotion, but the consistency of Leeds and Burnley have gone up as the automatic top 2. The league title still to be decided, though both have a chance, Leeds and Burnley. Burnley had a thumping 5-0 win at Queen's Park Rangers earlier today, so they've gone top. Leeds play against Bristol City this weekend, hoping to go back to top spot. But it's all about momentum for Sunderland, I think, because of those defeats of late. They're a lot better than they've shown. They have got a lot of the season, Regis Lebris' young squad, with a core of 14, 15 players, and it's told rather in the latter stages of the campaign. But Oxford will be confident of putting up a good performance here. They may need it, because Luton Town have got themselves out of the bottom 3 with a late goal at home to playoff chasing Coventry. It finished 1-0 for Luton at Kenilworth Road. So Luton Town are up to 49 points, on the same points now as Oxford. And with Derby and Hull playing each other tomorrow, or should I say later today, and points are going in one direction in that one. So even more emphasis on Oxford getting at least a point that would ease their relegation fears, with just that one final game of the season to come. Sunderland were last in the Premier League back in season 2016-17, during which time they spent 4 seasons down in League One. This is their 3rd season back in the Championship. They reached the playoffs in that first season, losing to Luton Town in the semi-finals, and then finished surprisingly low 16th last time around. But many have been surprised that this young Sunderland squad have kept pace with the best teams in the Championship, and those fans very much looking forward to the playoffs. A little overcast, there's been a bit of sunshine around ahead of kickoff, but a warm temperatures in the high teens centigrade ahead of kickoff here. Oxford in their traditional yellow shirts. Sunderland with a change of strip today, predominantly white. It's not their familiar red and white striped shirts for this one. Oxford make 4 changes from the 1-1 draw away at Cardiff last Monday. 2 of that starting 11, Peter Chioso and Tom Bradshaw, don't figure at all in today's squad. Joe Bennett and Alex Matos dropped to the substitutes bench. In come Greg Lee, Sam Long, Ruben Rodriguez and top scorer Mark Harris. 4-2-3-1 for manager Gary Rowett. Cameron Brannigan scored a beauty at Cardiff last week. The captain could turn out to be a very important goal. 6 changes for Sunderland from the 1-0 home defeat to Blackburn last Monday, as manager Lebris reverts to close to the strongest 11 on the back of those 3 straight defeats. Regulars Trey Hume, Dan Neil, Enzo Lefebvre, Patrick Roberts, Chris Rigg, along with Leo Gielda, all return. Keen to find some momentum now with playoff-bound Sunderland is Lebris in their final 2 games of the season. Dennis Sirkin, a regular this season, fit enough again for the bench. Cameron Brannigan, 35-yard screamer at Cardiff on Easter Monday, rocketed into the top corner and bought his side a precious point. And the Sunderland captain alongside him there is Dan Neil, who's been courted by a number of Premier League clubs this season. Neil, still only 23 years old, the Sunderland skipper. Tim Robinson, the referee, assisted today by Adrian Holmes and Stephen Meredith. And our 4th official is Carl Brook. When the sides met at the Stadium of Light back in October, Sunderland ran out 2-0 winners. Goals from Wilson Isidore and the French striker and Joe Bellingham. Isidore's been out of form of late, due a goal, but he does have 12 for the season. He's Gary Rowett, the man charged with keeping Oxford in the Championship this season. Looks like it's going to go right to the wire. Sunderland kick us off then, attacking the goal away to our right. Launch forward by Patterson. Lucky little nutmeg there on Dan Neil. It's opening up already here for Oxford United. Little deflection off Hume. Patterson a little slow, the goalkeeper, and Hume gets it behind for a corner. Tyler Goodrum, who got into good space. Rodriguez involved in the attack. And just for a moment or two, Sunderland defence at 6s and 7s. Terrific atmosphere inside the Kassam today, as you might expect, with the home side looking to get a little further clear of the relegation zone. And they've started brightly and gifted another corner by Bellingham. Ought to have done better at the near post there, Joe Bellingham. Keep an eye out for Vokes and Plaheta, who are both hovering on the edge of the penalty area. Anything that might come their way. Brannigan too. This is Goodrum. Blocked by Roberts. Brannigan. Isidore on the chase, beaten to it by Plaheta. Brannigan. Goodrum, the target of the crossfield pass, met by the head of Trey Hume. And that will drift out for a Sunderland goal kick. Unusual ground, the Kassam, 3-sided. Anthony Patterson came through the ranks at Sunderland, 24-year-old. He's 3.5 seasons now into the first choice goalkeeper at the club. Another who's been courted by Premier League clubs in recent times. It's not a particularly good goal kick. Will Vokes, even though he's almost on the halfway line, has a prodigious long throw. And Oxford will be using this as much as they can to their potential advantage. Comfortably into the penalty area. Not quite drop for Ben Nelson. And Oxford remain on the front foot. Brannigan. Clipped forward by Goodrum. It was a good pass as well. Bellingham with time to get that under control and cleared by Hume. Sunderland yet to really get their foot on the ball here. Maybe now, Rigg. Kielda. Didn't quite get there, the Sunderland left back. Here's Vokes. Nelson. Brannigan. Away by 09. Not many times Sunderland have made the journey to Oxford for a league game. There's only been 4 league matches when Oxford have been the home side against today's opposition, and Sunderland are yet to lose. They've won 3 of those 4. It's Oxford who've had much the better of the start. Brannigan spraying those long passes from right to left all day. Brannigan, he'll sit just in front of the back 4 at times when they're coming out from the back, but he's capable of getting forward and scoring, as he did in that spectacular finish against Cardiff on Easter Monday. And it's another long throw here for Vokes. The referee will want that retaken. Wasn't happy, Tim Robinson, with something that was going on in there. That's a word with Hellick and 09. This is going to reach the edge of the 6-yard box from Vokes. Sunderland defend it well. Goodrum. Half-hearted appeals from the Oxford fans rather than players for a penalty. This is Brannigan! Whoa, what a save from Patterson! That was a carbon copy of Cameron Brannigan's goal against Cardiff on Easter Monday. Destined for the top corner, and top save from Anthony Patterson. Regarded as one of the best shot stoppers in the Championship, and that's why. Beautifully hit by Brannigan. It stays 0-0. Nobody there for Oxford. Comfortable header away by Isidore. Brannigan. Vokes. Another try from there. Not quite in the standard of his captain Brannigan. From Will Vokes, who's only scored once this season. Sunderland on the counter-attack here with Isidore. They were caught a little sleeping there, Oxford. And he's quick, Wilson Isidore. Get the time to get his shot away. Sunderland have their first corner. Terrific clearance from Patterson. He was away from Hellick there, Isidore. The Polish international managed to make up the ground to concede this corner kick. Taken by Roberts. Drops as far as Rigg. 17-year-old Chris Rigg just unable to control the left-footed shot. Made his debut for Sunderland at 15. He's their youngest ever outfield player. He's the youngest ever scorer for the club. Got his first goal when he was 16. And another being followed by a number of Premier League clubs, Rig. Very interesting if Sunderland don't go up to the Premier League via the playoffs, to see how much their talented young squad is raided by Premier League clubs in the summer. Hume. This is Roberts. 09. Mepham, Welsh international, to the Northern Ireland international. Trey Hume has been outstanding this season, coming back from a one-game suspension, the throw-in taker. Signed for about £50,000 from the Northern Ireland club Linfield. Hume, I could probably sell him to the Premier League for about £8 million tomorrow. He's been that good. And another being tracked by several Premier League clubs. Here's Neil. Mepham. Hume. Quite the header that Kielder meant, but it found a teammate. This is 09. Good ball carry this from Bellingham. Support from Lefay. Neil. Thought about the shot momentarily. This is Hume. Roberts available. Sunderland beginning to settle now after that strong Oxford start. Forward by Rig. Bellingham couldn't quite keep the attack alive. Should be plenty of time here for 09. Sunderland throw. Plenty of time here for Mepham. He's been very consistent in his loan spell this season from Bournemouth, Chris Mepham. Sunderland are hoping to have another centre-back who's played a lot of games this season. Dan Ballard fit for the playoffs. He may be fit for the final game of the regular season at home to Queen's Park Rangers next week. As I mentioned earlier, Dennis Serkin, the regular left-back for much of the campaign, is fit enough for the bench again after his recent absence through injury. Mepham just a little slow there as Harris nipped in. No way through for Ruben Rodriguez. Here's Rig. Oh, he's gone down, and the referee, I think for a moment, you know, Tim Robinson wasn't going to give that free kick. Oxford are unhappy, but he delayed until he saw Rig nursing what he would claim was an injury. He seemed to go down a little late there, Rig. But eventually got Tim Robinson's view, and the free kick was given, much to Oxford's displeasure. Transfixed, concentrated Oxford United bench on this huge day for the club. Neil. Referee plays advantage. There was a little foul on Dan Neil. Sunderland captain in possession again. Hume. Might get on to the return here, Trey Hume. And that is a cynical pullback from Goodrum. Yellow card for Tyler Goodrum. Caught on the wrong side there as Hume got away from him. The Oxford Academy graduate sees the yellow. In good position here now for Sunderland. Lefay and Roma Loney and Patrick Roberts survey the scene. Favours the left-footed Roberts, this. From the angle we look, I think it will be Patrick Roberts. Got a chance to test Jamie Cumming in the Oxford goal. Well, they decided to put it towards the back post. It is in there by Lefay, and it was very well delivered. And without the touch from Will Vokes, Bellingham was scoring. He would have had a tap in, Joe Bellingham. Excellent clearance from Vokes and a really good free kick from Lefay. Welsh international with a vital touch there for Oxford. Another Sunderland corner. Almost quarter of an hour gone at the Kassam Stadium. Away and powerfully by Ben Nelson. Kicked in well by Rigg. Early cross was a really good one. Not sure Isidore was expecting the early cross from Chris Rigg, because he looked a little on his heels there. Big goal for Plymouth at Preston. Relegation scrap that. Preston have suddenly been dragged into trouble. Plymouth in the bottom three. Actually rock bottom at the start of today. That's a huge early goal for them at Deepdale. Bellingham. Rigg. Trying to find room, there wasn't any, and it's a foul by Chris Rigg. That's how the table looks at the moment. Luton Town got a late goal at home to Coventry to pull themselves out of the bottom three. Cardiff, as it stands, at the bottom. Forward by Hielda. This is Lefay. Red flag for danger up here as far as Oxford are concerned as Hielda goes in. And the referee says the ball had already gone out. Wasn't a particularly good pass that from Enzo Lefay. Just too much of the overlapping full-back Hielda. Just for a moment, Sam Long was isolated in the right side of that Oxford defence. Mepham. He did well. Eventually the attempt to get the ball out of play was prevented from doing so by Plaheta. Plenty forward here in this Oxford attack. Lefay. Put out easily by Hellick. Not a good challenge by Hjelde. Got that all wrong. Timing was well out from the Norwegian. No card issued by referee Tim Robinson, but it was clumsy from Hjelde. Don't think there was any malice in it. The referee didn't see it that way. Oxford do have the free kick. Goodrun will take. Nelson and Halleck forward from the back. So too Greg Lee. Good header away by Hjelde. This is Brannigan. Lee teases a nice ball in. Sunderland defend it well initially. Plauheta looking for the little reverse, didn't quite work. Ball given away cheaply by Hjelde. Given away again rather easily by Sunderland. Neal this time. Goodrun. Now Oxford's turn for a poor pass. Long ball, seeks out Isidore. Calmly done by Nelson. Here's Luke O'Nien. Hjelde. Nice ball into the space for Bellingham. And fouled by Vokes. He's clearly not happy with Tim Robinson's decision, claiming that Bellingham went down rather too easily. A wry smile from Bellingham. Was this a foul by Vokes? Looked it. The referee had a good view. And forward come Hjelde, Mepham, O'Nien to join Bellingham. Definitely favouring a right-footed delivery here with pace from Lefay, you would have thought, although Roberts is there with a left-footed option. Often from these positions, a right-footer can put this in with pace and it can go all the way in without a touch from anyone. And he leaves it for Roberts. And Rigg. And that was very much intended by Patrick Roberts to try and pick out Rigg. Brannigan. Foul by Roberts. Lee climbing well for that. Oxford throw. Another opportunity for Will Vokes to exercise his arms. Signed last summer after leaving Sheffield Wednesday, Will Vokes. We'll be looking for Halleck or Nelson at that near post area. Sunderland with the initial header via Mepham. Isidore can't get it under control. Plaheta shot blocked by Rigg. Halleck. O'Nien stuck to his task well. Here's Lefay. Just got caught there by Mikael Halleck. Just caught on his Achilles there, Enzo Lefay. If you've ever had that happen to you, you know it's painful. Hume. Goodrum. Kept in by Robert, was it? No. Ball had gone out. No win in 4 for Sunderland, looking with almost their full strength 11 after heavy rotation. And key players rested in the last 3 matches, all defeats. Prior to that, they got a goalless draw at Norwich. That was the point that secured Sunderland's place in the playoffs. And they've certainly gone off the boil since. Unsurprisingly, you might think. Never really going to finish any lower than 4th, so they knew they'd have the first leg of the playoff semi-final away. Second leg advantage at their Stadium of Light. Who they'll play, still far from certain. Here's Lefay. Isidore's gone on a run. Lefay holds it up for Hielder. 9 will be under pressure from Rodriguez to go back to Patterson. Mepham. Neil. Here's 09. Easily by Long, only as far as Lefay, neatly in field to Bellingham. Isidore, Oxford looking for offside, there's no flag. Greg Lee makes sure that Patrick Roberts didn't get onto that. Free kick. Cameron Brannigan working really hard in the engine room as usual for Oxford, the captain. In terms of the goalkeepers, only Patterson exercised so far, and he was fully in a terrific long-range shot from Cameron Brannigan, heading for the top corner of the Sunderland net until Patterson produced a brilliant save. No link there involving Hielder and Lefay. Giving a number of opportunities to produce these long throws, Will Vokes. This one he drops in short to Plauheta. Fed in by Vokes. Swivel and a shot from Harris won't trouble the Sunderland goal. Mark Harris, Oxford's top scorer this season, but only 6 goals. Here's Lefay. Operated much of his loan spell with Sunderland from Roma. The Frenchman Enzo Lefay on the left side. He's a number 10 really, as Ruben Rodriguez picks up a yellow card for the trip on Lefay. Regis Labrise would have liked this player on the ball, Lefay, to have played in his favoured 10 role, a more central attacking midfield position, but injuries to wide players has forced him to use Lefay mainly as a left-sided attacker. Sunderland work the free kick short. This is Bellingham. Neil. Mepham. Q. Round on the cover. Good header won by Vokes. Harris used his body well there against Mepham. Useful free kick, that, and the header's in! And it's a fabulous goal! Tremendous header from Ben Nelson. Absolutely no chance for Patterson. The timing was perfection. Have a look at this. Right into the corner. Full stretch Patterson in an attempt to keep it out. And a wonderful header. And such an important one for Oxford and for Ben Nelson. He's missed much of this season through injury. It's his first goal of the season. And what an occasion to get it. Let's see what Sunderland have got by way of reply. Captain leading the example, Neil. Lefay. And a challenge from Long. Not enough in that for Sunderland to get a penalty, although there was one or two claims from the Sunderland players. Here's Bellingham. Lefay. Struggling to find a rhythm in attack, the away side. It smiles all around the Kassam from the Oxford fans. A terrific headed goal from Nelson, the 21-year-old centre-back. Rodriguez. Really good foraging there by Oxford. The pass just a touch long. Meant for Harris. Well, doesn't that look a good picture for Oxford United? As it stands, they are staying in the Championship next season. Huge game between Hull and Derby at the bottom. Hume. Unai. Pielda. Cross comes Helic. And it's calmly done by Mikael Helic. Polish international. Signed in January after leaving Barnsley, Hellick. Well, rather Huddersfield. He did have a spell at Barnsley, but Gary Rowett happy to get his experience into his back line. He'll be wanting more. Lebris, the French head coach of Sunderland, his side haven't got going at all today. Rather in keeping with what they've shown in the previous 3 matches. All defeats, remember, for a team that's going to finish 4th at the end of the regular season. With Oxford value for their lead. Bellingham. Isidore. Neil. Long under pressure from Wilson Isidore. This is Lefay. Roberts calling for it at the back post. This is Hume. Good ball from Hume. Rigg will get there. Good cut back too. Very good defending by Hellick. Isidore was looking to guide that in at the near post and very nearly did, but for Hellick. Better from Sunderland. Here's Neil. Mepham. Hume. Gielda. Lefay. Shots on for Enzo Lefay. Got right underneath it. Capable from there, though. Signed on loan from Roma back in January. Enzo Lefay. Roma paid €23 million to French club Rennes to sign him last summer. Wasn't getting much of a look in the Roma first team before Sunderland brought him here. He did have experience playing under current Sunderland head coach Régis Lebris when they were together in France at Lorient. I think it's fair to say, had Lebris not been in position as Sunderland head coach, Enzo Lefay would not be playing in the Championship. '09. Neil. Lefay. Gielda. Neil. Isidore beaten to that by Hellick. Forward by Nelson. Opportunity for, yes, guess who? Will Vokes to produce another of these long throws. Oxford have already profited from a ball into the Sunderland penalty area with height. And the goal scorer Nelson's forward again, along with Hellick and Lee. Have a height advantage, Oxford, from these situations. Sunderland header met it though, it was Mepham. This is Plauheta. Brannigan, Goodrum, Vokes, calmly done by 09. Leo-Hielder. Mepham. Leo-Hielder. Here's 09. Pressing well high up the pitch, Oxford, in this first half. Through Rodriguez, Harris and Plauheta. Loose from Hume. Rodriguez. Goodrum. Well, it opened up for Tyler Goodrum after the mistake from Trey Hume. But Patterson not introduced into the action here by Tyler Goodrum. Plenty behind the shot, but it was starting high and remained high. Neil. O'Neill. What a loose pass by Lefay. Not sure what he was thinking about there. This is Rodriguez. Oxford being by a measure the better of the two sides, and looking to press home their advantage in the game to 2-0, but that's a loose one from Nelson, and so too from Roberts. Could have dropped that in behind for Isidore, who's left frustrated that Roberts didn't do so. That was a real chance to get Wilson Isidore in there. Neil, very good under pressure. Rigg, put out easily by Nelson. Forward by Long, and as far as 09. Vokes. Now Bellingham. Asking a lot here of Roberts. Greg Lee will get there first. It's calmly done by Oxford at the back. This is Harris. No way through for Rodriguez. But the referee says that was a foul on Ruben Rodriguez. In a really good position here now for Oxford. Free kick. Obstruction by Mepham. And the referee, a yellow card out for Chris Mepham. Trying to say to referee Robinson, I have nowhere to go, but he certainly blocked any route to the penalty area for Rodriguez and saw a yellow for it. Now then, Cameron Brannigan, the set-piece specialist for Oxford. Can he produce another spectacular goal here, the captain? Coming through the ranks at Liverpool. With 9 senior games in his time at Anfield, number 8, Cameron Brannigan. 3 times he donned the Liverpool first-team shirt in the Premier League. And looking at a very inviting target here. There's not much of a Sunderland wall up here. Look a little ragged, disorganised. Brannigan And they tried to just make it a slightly better angle via Goodrum, but he just choked on that a little. Not sure Sunderland were particularly well set up in terms of the barrier in front of Brannigan. They were a bit disjointed from the away side. What will be a concern to Sunderland supporters is that despite this being almost not quite their full strength 11, but not far short bar a couple of players, there's no significant difference between this 45 minutes from Sunderland to the previous 3 matches in total, which all brought defeats. They're not fluid, there's no rhythm, and that's a worry going into the playoffs. Although it should be said that Southampton lost 3 of their final 4 championship matches at the end of last season and still went up, winning the Wembley playoff final against Leeds, you'll recall. It's a foul on Lefay. Dan Neil it was who went to ground. Nepo. No-nonsense clearance from Hellick. All the time in the world here for Luke O'Nien as we head towards first half stoppage time. Won't be a great deal of that. Roberts. It's done well to wriggle out of that, Patrick Roberts. And we are now into stoppage time at the end of the half. Fourth official, Carl Brook, showing just a minimum of 1 minute. Plaeta. Goodrum. Rodriguez. 9 doing well against Harris. 1 minute of stoppage time almost up. Don't think there'll be time for Sunderland to get the ball forward and find an equaliser before the break. And they don't really deserve one, frankly. They've been poor, but full credit to Oxford, who've been right at it from the first kick here at the Kassam today. Gary Rowett's side take a 1-0 lead in at half-time thanks to that man, Ben Nelson, with his first goal of the season. Such an important one. At the moment, it's keeping Oxford in the championship, given how the results are going elsewhere. Sunderland, 6 changes and much more like a full-strength 11 today. But they've been outplayed and outfought by Oxford in the first half. At the break, Oxford United 1, Sunderland 0. Teams are out then, ahead of the second half at the Kassam Stadium. Big 45 minutes for Oxford, doing what they need to do to be a championship football club again next season, thanks to Ben Nelson's first half header. Has them deservedly 1-0 up here against a Sunderland team already assured of a place in the playoffs. But as it stands, as far as the Black Cats are concerned, it's going to be a 4th straight defeat since they secured that playoff place with a goalless draw at Norwich. No changes made by either Gary Rowett or Regis Lebris at half-time. Sunderland almost back to full strength, 6 changes, as Lebris has been heavily rotating his squad in recent weeks with that playoff place guaranteed. And he wants to get momentum going into the playoffs, and so far his near full-strength team are not providing it. They've been poor, but let's credit Oxford, who've been bang at it. Although Sunderland have had slightly more of the possession, Oxford have looked far the more dangerous team. In terms of their fluid attacking players, at times Sunderland are struggling to find a rhythm in their last third. Oxford will be wary, but Sunderland have it in their locker to improve, and much can change at that bottom end of the table in the 45 minutes or so that remain in the matches elsewhere. Derby in the bottom three, they're 0-0 at Hull. But Luton got a massive late goal against Coventry in a 1-0 win at Kenilworth Road earlier this season. Sunderland sleepy at the back. Clarhetta might drop here. Bellingham got a touch to Helix overhead. There's a free shot in there for Goodrum, couldn't get it goalwards, and Sunderland will smuggle it clear through Isidore, but the free kick has been given. Sunderland left rather bemused about referee Tim Robinson's decision here, but it was Tyler Goodrum who went down, and this is very much in Cameron Brannigan territory, this free kick. It was a late whistle from the referee. That's what Dan Neil's talking to Tim Robinson about, seemingly allowing Isidore to start the potential counter-attack. But now Brannigan will be licking his lips at this position. Well, given his track record from free kicks, you'd expect him to at least hit the target here, Brannigan. It's almost position A1 here. It's far enough outside the penalty area to get it up and beyond that Sunderland wall. And I fancy he'd be looking to the left of the goalkeeper as we see it. And he went right instead. Patterson with the save, but Hellick with the follow-up, and it's 2-0 to Oxford. And those split seconds encapsulated this match. Because who's on the front foot? It's a player in yellow. Who's sleeping? Sunderland players don't react to the pieces off the goalkeeper, Patterson. But very much in the wide-awake club was the Pole, Mikael Hellick. And Oxford stretch out into a 2-0 lead. Patterson probably should do better with a Brannigan free kick, but nobody backing up in a Sunderland shirt here. Look, they're all static. And Hellick helped himself, he was onside. It's an error from Patterson, and it's an error from his teammates not to back him up. 2-0 Oxford, it's looking so good for them here. It's a big half an hour or so, 40 minutes or so for Sunderland to find a little bit of confidence and momentum, because this is beginning to look troubling. With the fourth successive championship defeat looming. Not what you would wish that kind of form to take into the playoffs, and there's a opportunity there to beat Patterson, who was well off his line there, folks. Anything on target, 3-0. Sees the picture really early there, Will Vokes. Got it comfortably beyond Patterson. And it was a good couple of metres wide in the end. Good try, nevertheless, from Vokes. Hugh. Reggie Slabreeze has naturally been asked a lot in the last few weeks what the mood is like inside the Sunderland camp on this losing streak. And he says the vibe is still good, healthy amongst the squad. But they're going to need to improve considerably if they are to find a place at Wembley via the playoffs. The north-east rivals, Middlesbrough, have a chance to go above Coventry if they beat Norwich at the Riverside today after Coventry lost earlier. This is Hjelde, chance to get a shot away, in by Lefay. And he passed up the responsibility there. Hjelde could have gone for goal, I thought. He had the space. Oxford would be wise not to take anything for granted, and I don't think they will be. There's a long way to go yet. Here's Roberts. Neil. Rigg. Bellingham. Neil losing possession. And Oxford might be in for a third here. It's Plauheta. The Pole's got a great chance. Denied by Patterson. I think he got a fingertip to that. Not sure the shot was going in from Przemysław Plauheta. He was clear of Luke O'Nien here. And I think he gets a fingertip to that, I thought, Patterson. The officials decided he didn't, but it was a great chance for 3-0. Here's Bellingham. Neil. He's running into yellow shirts there, Dan Neil, and producing the free kick. Sunderland fans away on that far side, and a lot of them have made the journey down to Oxfordshire. Disappointed, but for that man, Gary Roward, he looks very confident on the touchline. He's very happy with this performance. With and without the ball, they've been excellent. Worries for Lebris and Sunderland. Furrowed brow there of the Frenchman. And with every good reason. Oxford are not flattered by this lead at all. Heavy challenge on Isidore. Nelson and Isidore with a clash of heads. Sunderland missing their Spanish under-21 international striker Eliza Mayenda owing to concussion. Just wonder whether Isidore is going to be in that boat after that coming together with Ben Nelson, who moved away more easily. But it's Mikael Helik who's got Oxford in a comfortable position with their second goal. Isidore shaken, and he'll be back for more by the look of it. Neil. He's going for goal there, Helik. That would have been a contender for goal of the season, and he kept that on target. A slip which gives possession to Oxford from Dan Neil. Hielder. Foul on Lefay by Long. Great noise from the Oxford fans. Going so well for them today. Nelson, the policeman's job there on Isidore. He's had no change whatsoever out of Nelson and Hellick today. Service has not been great to the Frenchman Wilson Isidore, in fairness to him. Hielder. Lefay. Bellingham. Mepham. Roberts to Bellingham. And forward breaks kindly here for Plaheta, who's quick and running at a retreating Sunderland defence here. From Memishav, Plaheta. That's a loose one. And steps Lefay. And making up for his error, Will Vokes. Sloppy play by Mepham. This is Goodrum. And Sunderland are really stretched here. Now they're back in some kind of shape. This is Brannigan, urged to shoot. Tried to clip it into the top corner. Patterson had it read. And it was poor from Chris Mepham initially that invited the pressure. As Oxford go in search of their third goal, and surely one that would finish off Sunderland. No way through for Rodriguez. Here's Neil. Rigg. Isidore the target of Rigg's pass. Nelson's there and in charge once more. Roberts. Bellingham. Lefay. In comes the header, it's off the post. Terrific effort from Rigg. And that certainly had goalkeeper coming beaten. Far and away Sunderland's best move of the match. Chris Rigg denied by the woodwork. '09. Lefay. Didn't quite sit for Rigg this time. Neil. Enzo Lefay. Seeing more of the ball now, the Frenchman. Well blocked by Long. Have another look at this Chris Rigg header. Looked destined for the corner of the net. Good work from Lefay. '17-year-old denied. three quarters of this season, Sunderland have produced some sparkling attacking football, but it is deserting them in the crucial final weeks. I say crucial in terms of how they are going to be mentally going into the playoffs. They'll try and shake off all the talk about lack of momentum and all that, and try and assert the positives, but as I said earlier, 4 straight defeats, might even be 5. Their final game is of the regular season's home to Queen's Park Rangers next week, where they will definitely need a positive result and performance before that playoff semi-final first leg, wherever that may be. This is Rodriguez looking for Harris. Plaheta. Vokes. Heavy pass, heavy tackle, being loudly applauded by the Oxford fans, including stoppage time, half an hour or so to go. And Oxford in control of the match, but Sunderland have improved in the last 5 minutes. Goodrum to Brannigan. One pass too many there from Oxford. This is Rigg. Hume. It's a late one. Sunderland can't take the free kick from there. Yellow card shown to Will Vokes. He's saying that's my first transgression, or words to that effect, Vokes. But Tim Robinson saw enough in it to produce the yellow card. Oxford's 3rd yellow of the game. And Tim Robinson just mentioning to the captain Cameron Brannigan, any more back chat from Vokes and he'll produce a red. Rigg to Bellingham. Lefay. Bellingham again. Neal. Hume. Supported here by Roberts. Dan Neal. Roberts. Kielda. Oxford are mindful not to sit back and try and protect the 2-0 lead. Trying to get on the front foot at every opportunity. As Bellingham can't pick out the run of Isidore, who remains frustrated with his lack of service. But there you are, there's the numbers. Sunderland may have had more of the ball, but it's what you do with it. And Oxford value for the 2-0 lead. Looked like a push there by O'Nien. Referee didn't think so. Oxford left rather displeased, to say the least. Long easily guides that back to Cumming. Down goes O'Neill, under pressure from Harris, free kick. Mark Harris explaining to the assistant referee that he felt that he didn't put too much pressure on O'Neill from a physical sense, but the officials saw it as a foul. Just a forearm into the face of Luke O'Neill there. Bellingham, room for Lefay. Kielder, O'Neill, Mepham, Neil, Roberts, chance to get a shot away. Patrick Roberts didn't begin to get hold of it. How many times Oxford have won those 50-50s today? O'Neill under pressure from Rodriguez. Movement on the Sunderland bench. Dennis Serkin making his way back from injury on the right is the regular left back when fit. And Tommy Watson, a young academy product winger, has already signed for Premier League Brighton for next season. He'll be on as well with Serkin shortly, as Sunderland seek a comeback here. Roberts, Lefay, Bellingham sold a little short by the pass, driven in by Rigg. Enough Oxford bodies in the way. Loose ball picked up again by Roberts. Neil. Just under a quarter of the game to go. Kielder. Poor cross. No Sunderland player anywhere near to that. This is Rigg. Away comfortably by Long. O'Neill pushing well up from the back, trying to keep Oxford condensed in their last third. Great turn from Bellingham. This is Neil. Oh no, didn't get settled over that at all, the Sunderland captain. As Serkin and Watson come on, Patrick Roberts will make way for Watson, and Serkin I think will come on for Kielder at left back. That will be confirmed, I'm sure, by fourth official Carl Brook in a moment. Number 33 will be up. And indeed, that is the change. So Watson for Roberts, Serkin for Kielder. With 20 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Bellingham wins the free kick, takes it quickly to Lefay, and maybe the best outlet. He'll get support from Serkin, who's an attacking fullback by nature, for the remainder of this game. Sunderland's main threat may well come down the left, but at the moment it's the new man on the right, Watson. And a deflection from Nelson that could easily have found his own net. His heart was in his mouth there, Ben Nelson. Just a corner. Sunderland looking more of a goal threat. Nelson's clearing header. Hume's throw. Nelson under no pressure. And Lefay trying the spectacular. Just a little coming together there with Sam Long into Lefay. The shot not troubling Jamie Cumming in the Oxford goal. Double change for Oxford now, with the experienced Matt Phillips and the Chelsea loanee Alex Matos coming on. Generous applause for the players departing. Przemysław Placheta is off. Matos on in his stead, and Matt Phillips, the other player arriving. Very experienced, former West Brom man, 8 years at West Bromwich Albion, 34 years old, Matt Phillips. Still looking for his first league goal of the season. Rodriguez. And Placheta. Players departing. The foul on Bellingham. Still goalless, incidentally, between Hull and Derby in that relegation six-pointer. That's very good news for Oxford if that ends in a draw. As it stands, Oxford still in a position of absolute safety. And there's confirmation of it. Luton with a late winner against playoff-chasing Coventry to get themselves out of the bottom three. Derby in trouble. Plymouth doing as much as they possibly can at the moment. Now 1-0 up at Preston, and they're off the bottom at least, but still in the relegation zone. Nice turn from Rigg. Can he get a pass away? No, he can't. Wants a free kick and gets it. Just a split second or two to make his mind up there, referee Tim Robinson. Neil. I think it might be almost unprecedented for a team going into the playoffs to lose 4 of the last 5 games. And it may be 5 of the last 5 if Sunderland lose to Queen's Park Rangers at the Stadium of Light next week. And can you suddenly flick a switch from that kind of run to be competitive and have the confidence, momentum to go into the 2-leg playoff semi-final? Well, we'll find out soon enough. But this is not far short of Sunderland's full-strength 11 today, bar Mayenda and Sirkin's out there now. Here's Lefay. Mayenda missing out through concussion today, but will be fit for next week against QPR, I'm told. Here's Sirkin. This will be left for Trey Hume. Rigg available. So too Watson. Now Rigg. Nice ball in to Trey Hume, well blocked. Nelson's been excellent. Apart from his goal, he's defended really well. Rather flat, dejected-looking Sunderland bench as they ready two more substitutions. Inside the last quarter of an hour of normal time. Brooks just trying to shake off a knock. Thumbs up to the bench that he's okay. Circuit. 09 punches that wide. It's an excellent pass to find Watson. First time ball in. Bellingham beaten to it by Long. Great header. Excellent cover from the right back, Sam Long. I think he's struggling, Long. He may be substituted shortly. Here's 09. And he's limping quite heavily. Long. Neil. Wilson Isidore is looking really unhappy, the Sunderland striker. He's had no service to speak of today. The striker who's very short on confidence at the moment. And Sunderland not top-heavy with strikers in their squad. They certainly want Mayenda back, who's looked in better form, certainly, than Mayenda in recent weeks. Come the Sunderland changes. Alan Brown and Abdul Samed are coming on. Samed, the French midfielder, embraces his fellow Frenchman there, Lefebvre, and the Republic of Ireland international, former Preston North End man, Alan Brown, is on for the remaining minutes. The other Sunderland player coming off is the captain, Dan Neil. He's been far from his best today, Neil. Saving it up for the playoffs, Sunderland fans will hope. There's Abdul Samed. Makes his way on loan from Lens. And Sam Long is going to be replaced here. Straight swap at the back. Terra Vest is on for Oxford. Make his way back from injury. Sirkin fouled by Phillips. Isidore. Closing in on the last 10 minutes of normal time. 09. Another good crossfield pass from him to pick out Brown. Hooked in towards Isidore. Wouldn't drop for Watson, and away by Phillips. Bellingham. Samed. Nepham. Grigg. Goes down by Goodrum, and the throw-in has gone to Oxford. Yet another duel won by the home side, in a familiar theme today. He looks concerned. with every good reason. Fourth straight defeat looming for Reg East Labrise and playoff-bound Sunderland. Needs to address it next week against Queen's Park Rangers for sure. They were beaten 5-0 QPR at home by promoted Burnley earlier today. Is there a case of this largely young Sunderland squad? That's the model that the hierarchy at the Stadium of Light have brought in over the past few years. Buy young players, develop them, sell them on. The youngest squad in the Championship. Now they just run out of juice, run out of fuel. It's a punishing season, and so many of these young players have played many minutes. It's quite a thin squad. They've got a core of 14, 15 players for much of the season. They've heavily rotated in recent weeks. That's been some reason why they've gone on this disappointing journey of 4 straight defeats, it would seem. But 9 of the recognised first-choice starting 11 started today as Plymouth go 2-0 up at Preston. They are doing their chances of survival no harm at all, Plymouth, and Preston getting dragged into relegation trouble. They're already in it before today. Anxiety for the home fans at Deepdale. That is how it stands at the moment. Preston joining Luton, or staying on 49 points. Luton joining them on 49. Hull on 49. Still 0-0 between Hull and Derby in that huge game at the bottom. Cardiff 0-0 with West Brom. Mepham. Samet. Watson. '09. Cirkin. Watson. Oh no. Not sure what he was trying there, Tommy Watson. Lost the compass. Rather in keeping, symptomatic of Sunderland's performance today. Take nothing away though from Oxford. Their need for 3 points was the greater, that is for sure, and it's told. Interesting to see how Watson fares at Brighton, whether he'll get any Premier League football next season, but they've been tracking him for a while. Only 19, £10 million is rumoured to be the transfer fee that Brighton have paid to Sunderland for him. Here's Watson again. Mepham. Bellingham. 09. Punch forward towards Watson. Back with Luke 09. Oxford defending their goal really well. Good shape about them out of possession here. Hume. It's a Sunderland throw. Very little for the travelling fans to cheer today. Body language says it all. We are witnessing another anemic performance, 4th in a row. They weren't that great at Norwich when they got a 0-0 draw. That secured their place in the playoffs. And they've been in the waiting room, in inverted commas, always looking likely to finish 4th. They will finish 4th. But whoever plays them in the playoffs will not mind at all with Sunderland in this kind of form. They're there for the taking, it would seem. But of course, things can change so quickly. Looks like Oxford are going to be pressed into a late substitution, maybe. Mark Harris is down. That was the goal that really settled Oxford down from Mikael Helik, reacting very smartly to Patterson's attempt to keep out Brannigan. Goalkeeper, I thought at the time, should have done better, but Helik was much quicker to react than any of the Sunderland players. We are staying up is the chant from the Oxford fans as they prepare to bring on centre-back Elliot Moore. And he will come on to replace a striker, Mark Harris. We're also going to see Joe Bennett, so two defenders coming on here for Oxford. Greg Lee was the other player that came off. So Bennett will go into the left-back position, Moore will go into the centre of defence. I think they're going to put three centre-backs in there now to hold what they have. Captain's armband goes to Elliot Moore. And they're singing their side home to 3 massive points. And they are staying up. If the results go for them elsewhere, and they are, 52 points would be enough. But I can tell you there's been a late goal in that big game at the bottom end of the table, as Derby have just scored against Hull. And that will take Derby on to 49 points. It's the same number of points as Oxford and Preston, but it would keep Hull on 48. So it's still tight down there. It could still turn against Oxford in the closing minutes. But doing what they had to do today and win, and they're winning it with a degree of comfort. Confirmation of Nat Phillips' goal for Derby. How many of them have got an eye on the results elsewhere? I can tell you that Preston and Derby, Preston certainly got a better goal difference than Oxford. And so too of Derby. Stoke a sandwich between Derby and Oxford at the moment on 50 points. But the situation further down the table is keeping Oxford safe, because if Hull lose, Hull can't catch Oxford, nor can Plymouth or Cardiff. Cirkin. Late corner here for Sunderland as we step into stoppage time. There's confirmation of it. Oxford still looking good. Another Sunderland corner. We're into a minimum of 6 additional minutes. Plenty of sides at the bottom. Will be a Sunderland fan right now beneath Oxford, hoping that the side already with a playoff place secured can find 2 late goals here to break Oxford hearts and keep them in trouble. There's still time. coming, taking no chances. He might have been thinking about getting 2 gloves on that, but decided against it in the end, the goalkeeper. Rigg completely unmarked at the moment, just outside the penalty area. Anything that might come out to him. Here comes a corner from Hume, away by Cumming, as far as Vokes. Oxford will be in no hurry over this. Gary Rowett came in during the season to replace Des Buckingham. And it looks as though it's mission accomplished. And Championship football again next season here at the Kassam. Oxford 4 minutes away from safety. And Regis Lebris having to lick further wounds in a 4th straight defeat. And a very important job he's got and his staff to lift these Sunderland players for the playoffs and indeed for the final game of the regular season at home to Queen's Park Rangers next week. This result, if Oxford maintain it, will mean they can go to Swansea with all the pressure off, knowing that they're safe in that final match next week of the regular season for them. As Sunderland look for a late consolation goal, there'd still be time for another if they were to score here in the 4th minute at the minimum of 6 added on. Here's Bellingham. Rigg. Disguise on the pass. In by Brown. Watson couldn't gather it in. One back by Sirkin. Bellingham. Rigg. Back with Joe Bellingham. Sirkin. Watson. Anywhere would do for Cameron Brannigan. Nursing a problem with his hamstring there. He's going to see out the remainder, it would seem. Mepham. Up goes Sirkin, can't direct his header goalwards. And Oxford are nearly there. Well, many a manager or head coach would have taken the same route as Regis Lebris. It was playoff place secured with many games to spare, with 5 games to spare for Sunderland. Had to rotate the squad, give key players rest. There were some injuries mixed in there as well. They're getting injured players back, though. Sirkin off the bench today. Dan Ballard will be available for the playoffs. There's been talk that Adji Elise might be available as well. He's missed much of the season through injury at defender. But with 9 of the recognised first choice 11 for the playoffs starting today, they would have expected better. But it's a 4th straight defeat, certainly coming now, because we're into the final minute of stoppage time. And who can deny Oxford their victory? They've been excellent. It'll be 10 points in the last 5 games, finding form just when they needed it most. And it doesn't matter what the rest are doing beneath them. Get the job done here with 3 points, and the rest can worry about themselves. Staying up He is absolutely assured, and they know it. And that's it. The celebrations can begin for Gary Rowett and his players. Job done. But a dejected-looking Regis Labrise must take his Sunderland squad home on now 4 straight defeats. The body language around the Stadium of Light, fans, manager, staff, supporters alike, is going to be very interesting. They'll come in for further criticism, I think, Sunderland, from their supporters. But today at the Kassam, it's all about Oxford United. With and without the ball today, they were right up for it. They fancy themselves, they've been in good form lately. Ben Nelson had them in front 1-0 at half-time with a superb header. And then another centre-back, Mikael Halleck, delivered for Gary Rowett in the second half, reacting first to a loose ball off the goalkeeper, Anthony Patterson, from a Cameron Brannigan free kick. It's very interesting to see what Sunderland can produce now in the playoffs. Interesting to see who they're going to meet over 2 legs. They do know that they will have the second leg at their Stadium of Light. But Oxford can now go to Swansea next week in the knowledge they'll be playing Championship football again next season. This is their first time back in England's second tier since the 1998-99 season. And Gary Rowett will be something of a hero around these parts in the coming days. See the reaction of 1 or 2 of the Sunderland fans there, arms outstretched, saying, come on, what's going on? 4 straight defeats. This is not where we need to be going in the playoffs. And those players are getting plenty. They're not getting it from all the Sunderland fans there. Labrise looking on, somewhat concerned, making sure that it doesn't get out of hand over there. I'm sure it won't. But the Sunderland players are being shown in no uncertain terms that they need to pull their socks up and get moving ahead of those very important playoffs. Yes, the Oxford fans and their players continue to celebrate. We conclude at the Kassam Stadium here with a final score in the Championship, as Oxford secure their safety in the Championship for next season. They've beaten Sunderland deservedly by 2-0.